So I'm just going to share quickly what got me into this natural health industry, and then we're going to dive into talking about some advanced and ancient nutrition. But for me, I got in this industry through a health crisis in my family. At 40 years old, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, which was shocking to us because my mom was my gym teacher in elementary school. She was a swim instructor, and she just looked really fit and healthy. But my family lived in what I'll call the medical model. Anytime we were sick, we turned to conventional medicine and got prescribed antibiotics and drugs, and that's how we lived. So when my mom got that diagnosis, she went and had a mastectomy. She went through rounds and rounds and rounds of chemotherapy, and I can still remember to this day, I remember her bringing a comb through her hair and the hair coming out in chunks. I remember looking at her after the chemo and thinking she had aged 20 years in 2 weeks. And just saying to myself as a kid, man, I never want to see anyone have to go through that again, whether it's a family or a mom or anybody. And, you know, praise God, she made it through it, but barely. And at the end they said, you're cancer-free, you're healthy, but here's the problem. She was really sicker than ever. My mom was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, chronic fatigue syndrome, clinical depression. She got put on multiple medications, including antidepressants. And one of the biggest memories of my mom growing up was she was sick and tired all the time. And this went on for 10 plus years. And at that point, I was actually studying to become a physician. I was learning some great principles, but my mom called me and she said, and sobbing on the phone, she said, I've got bad news. I've just been diagnosed with cancer again. This time it's on my lung, and they want to go in and do surgery in 3 days, and then they're recommending radiation treatments right after. And she said, what do I do? And I said, Mom, I'll be home. I flew home from Florida back to Ohio, and we sat down and prayed together, and we felt led to take care of her all naturally. And so we started changing things. I'll mention this as well. During that time, we grabbed a book called The Maker's Diet here that Jordan had written. That was one of the resources we used. Yeah. You know, and some products he created. But, you know, some things my mom did, she started juicing vegetables every single day. She started doing bone broth. She started doing lots and lots of berries. And she started using things like she did a blend of reishi mushroom and cordyceps, two really powerful medicinal mushrooms. She started doing frankincense essential oil. She started using lots of turmeric every single day. And we followed a full-on health program like that for 4 months. And we went back to the oncologist 4 months later and redid a CT scan, and they called us a day or two later, and they said, this is highly unusual. We don't typically see this, but your tumors have shrunk by more than half. Wow. They said, keep doing what you're doing, but we want to see you back in 9 months. We went back 9 months later, and at that point she was almost in complete remission, and now it's been 13 years, and she is in remission. She's in the best shape of her life. Yeah, I heard my dad retired from Ohio down to Florida. They live on a lake. They water ski. My mom's ran several 5Ks with me in the past few years and got second and third in her age group. And she says she feels better now in her 60s than she did in her 30s. And so the reason I bring that up is, like, when I'm practicing, you know, when I took care of patients and when I'm writing newsletters now, or when Jordan and I are formulating supplements, we're formulating those, one for ourselves, but also for my mom. Or for my wife, or, you know, my wife will tell you for our dogs, I mean, kind of, anyways, but if you follow her Instagram, she just loves those things, and I love them too, but, you know. But, and then, you know, Jordan's formulating for his 6 kids, so we're excited to share with you tonight some things that we are personally very passionate about that we believe can help transform your health as well.
Absolutely. So for those of you who can hear us, we're going to go semi-rapid fire. We're going to spend several minutes on each ancient nutrition principle and then give you a recommendation, sort of throw out some ways to be practical and utilize this, because I don't want you to go home saying, man, that was awesome, we heard a lot of good stuff, and end up with the same questions and the same issues. We want practical application. Bottom line, folks, we create supplements and functional foods to combine ingredients and beneficial compounds that you cannot or will not get in your diet every day. And the first of those is bone broth. Ancient nutrition, modern marvel. Here's the lowdown. Bone broth, otherwise known as chicken soup, is good for the soul. It's Jewish penicillin, and I'm told it works for non-Jewish people as well, which is really good news. We know that hospitals, even today, give you broth after surgery. It's not healthy broth anymore, but broth is the food of last resort. And an old African proverb says, good broth can raise the dead. I've never seen that happen, but Who knows? Folks, bone broth is good for your gut. It's good for your skin, hair, nails, and your immune system. If you're allergic, on a gluten-free, dairy-free, grain-free, some people are on a food-free diet these days, it's good for all of you. And instead of trying to make bone broth every day, which a lot of us have done, not as much as we should, we have created a practical solution that you can mix within seconds. It's so easy that we do it every day on the road, in our hotel rooms, even with those stupid short sinks. Why do they make the sinks so short? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Bone broth protein was something that Josh and I created, and for the last 2 years, we have consumed every day 2 to 6 servings of bone broth. In my prior 40 years of life, I couldn't even consume as much in that entire time. Bone broth protein is an entire supplement section in an easy to mix, tasty powder. You can mix the savory, which is the pure and turmeric in your grains, and sneak 20 grams of protein per serving in your brown rice. You can consume all of these amazing flavors. I'll let Josh tell you his favorites. And if you don't have 10 seconds to shake and drink, we even have capsules. Bone broth protein is powerful. I'm going to let Dr. Axe tell you what it has, who it's for, and challenge you to go on a bone broth loading phase, because we, ladies and gentlemen, are getting a lot of muscle building protein from dairy, meat, and plant proteins. They're all the same, but we're no longer getting connective tissue or collagen proteins. And that fact makes us susceptible to all kinds of challenges. Here's what I'll say. I believe if preschools made bone broth mandatory, if assisted living facilities served it daily, if athletes consumed it always, and everyone in between, our bones would be stronger, our joints would be stronger, our skin would look better, and our immune systems and gut would function more healthfully.
Yeah, so, bone broth, and by the way, Jordan came up with this idea for bone broth. He was working on another supplement for me, which we'll share in a minute, called multi-collagen protein. But when he shared this with me, I was so excited because, when in my clinic, I would put my patients on bone broth cleanses, where they would just drink bone broth for 3 days, and then they would go on a program where they would drink broth throughout the morning, and then they would have a solid meal like grass-fed meat, loads of veggies for lunch and dinner. And the results we saw were absolutely phenomenal, from hormone issues to gut issues to thyroid to even people losing weight. All of those issues seemed to get better very, very quickly when they followed this diet that was rich in bone broth. And so when Jordan shared this, again, I was just so excited. But here's the big reason. I would put patients on this plan that worked so well. Here was the problem. Most of the time, people could not stay on it long term because of compliance. How many of you guys have ever made your own bone broth at home? Okay, a lot of you have. Now, I've done the same thing. I used to make it all the time before we came out with this. I still make it on occasion, but now I don't as often because we have it in this concentrated form. But here's the thing. So I used to drive from Nashville down to Franklin, Tennessee, get bones, make it, and I'd make a ton of broth. But it would be gone in 2 days. Like, it would be gone so fast between my wife and I drinking it, and then my dog's begging for it. So you run out of this stuff fast. But the thing is, if it was me, who is a health fanatic and nut, and who actually loves cooking and spends time in the kitchen, if it was hard for me to get in, you know how hard it was for my patients to be getting bone broth in their diet every single day long term? It was nearly impossible. So when Jordan told me this, I was so excited that we had found and he was able to create a concentrated form of bone broth in this bone broth protein. I mean, I was thrilled for myself, I was thrilled for my mom, for my, for my family, and for all of my patients. And so bone broth protein, bone broth is one of the most unique superfoods on the planet, because it's something that we are missing in our diet. We're not getting it on a regular basis. Jordan mentioned earlier, when you're consuming both plant proteins from grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, and meat products like beef and chicken, they're the very same amino acids. They're high in branched chain amino acids and methionine, versus collagen is very rich in something called proline hydroxyproline glycine, or bone broth is rich in collagen, proline hydroxyproline glycine. These amino acids, listen, so collagen is what makes up your skin, your hair, and your nails. Collagen is what makes up your gut lining, your bones, your discs, part of the tissues that really function as your immune system, and your ligaments, your tendons, your connective tissue, and your fossa. So pretty much skin, hair, nails, joints, bones, all of those areas. So most of us, we are feeding our muscles all day by what we're eating. We are not feeding our immune system, our gut, our connective tissue, giving it the building blocks and things it needs to repair itself. And I'll give you an example. You know how many athletes today are tearing ligaments, tendons, and herniating discs versus how many of them are tearing muscles? Way more of them have disc issues, broken bones, or especially torn ACLs and rotator cuffs versus not muscles. Why? Because they're not feeding and nourishing that area of their body. Think about this, somebody that's aging, my grandfather's 95 years old, he doesn't really have that much muscle pain, but he's got a lot of joint pain. He's had 2 full knee replacements, major joint pain all the time. Do you think it could be because we're not getting collagen in our diet? I was recently doing an interview and somebody asked me, they said, Dr. Axe, if you could only take one supplement, what would it be? And my answer was really easy. It would be bone broth or bone broth protein, because I can get greens in my diet other ways. Again, green superfoods are great. I do them sometimes. But I also, I can get it through juice vegetables or kale salads, that type of thing. Omegas, I eat salmon a lot. I get some of this other stuff in my diet versus bone broth. It's something we should be getting every day. Our ancestors got every day. I'm going to talk about a few flavors that have Jordan share. So that's the other thing I love in terms of compliance and getting this, is these taste great. We start off here with the pure and the turmeric. Mixing those to some rice or quinoa is a great way to go. So you can just mix it in a dish. Think about this. If you add it to rice, you're adding in 20 grams of high quality collagen protein per serving. That's why this is so great for kids, adding it in that way. Our vanilla is great. I love doing our vanilla with just some, coconut milk and then strawberries, bananas. It tastes like a strawberry banana milkshake. It's really great. I also love doing our chocolate, mixing it just with almond milk, warming it up. It tastes like a hot chocolate, which is great. Mixing the coffee and chocolate together tastes like a mocha. And the cinnamon apple, I love mixing that just with oatmeal. It's cinnamon apple oatmeal, really, really good. So again, it's really, it's great for kids, it's great for adults, but just in general, here's the last thing I'll say before I pass to Jordan, is that more than any other product I've recommended over the years, when people have started taking this, they've noticed. How many of you guys have ever taken a supplement and you didn't necessarily notice it was making a difference in your health? Pretty much everybody. When people start taking this product, really in a matter of weeks, they'll say, I noticed a difference in my skin, in my hair, in my nails, in my joints, in my gut and digestion. You will notice a difference fast.
Absolutely. So here's the challenge, folks. Flavors or capsules, we've got Bone Broth Protein Fit, Muscle Booster, and Thermo Burner for those who want to build muscle, boost testosterone, burn fat. We've got Bone Broth Protein Burst, which is our pre-workout. We have an entire line of organic bone broth protein. Awesome. So here's the deal. For you to get the balance back, 3 servings a day of one of our bone broth containing powders, 3 servings a day for 3 weeks. I want you to take a before picture, not in a bikini or in spandex. Let's just forget about that one. Take a selfie of your face. I believe you're going to see improvements in the way you look, the way your skin glows, your hair, your nails, and then go to one of our social pages and post your before and after. We're making America beautiful with broth, but it's really about your internal health. I'm telling you folks, 3 weeks will come and go just like that. Your body will absolutely thrive on putting in what belongs there to begin with. Your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and every generation prior consume broth whenever they consume meat. We are a brothless generation, and it's time to end that today. And we talked about collagen. Bone broth protein has collagen, type 2. Chondroitin, glucosamine, hyaluronic acid, minerals, and powerful amino acids. Ditch the pea, the rice, the egg. Give bone broth protein a try. You will love it. And speaking of collagen, we have an amazing tasteless, odorless collagen formula Dr. Axe Multi-Collagen Protein. Now, how many of you know vitamins are good? How many of you have heard of thiamine or vitamin B1? That is the first vitamin. How many of you take a vitamin B1 supplement? Not a multi, a vitamin, just vitamin B1. Okay, a couple of you. Vitamin B1's good, vitamin C's good, vitamin K, vitamin D, but most people take a multiple vitamin to cover all the bases. We created the first ever multi-collagen protein to mix in water, to mix in juice or fermented beverages. Again, it's tasteless, it's odorless, and it's complete. We love it. It's available in powder, whether it's a canister or stick packs, and amazingly beneficial capsules.
Yeah, so just a few things about collagen. You know, this is, you know, and here's the thing, there are other products out there that have collagen in them, right? Most of you guys have seen there's several brands of collagen protein. Here's the problem, other collagen proteins only contain type 1 and 3 collagen. Now, type 1 and 3 collagen can be good for the skin, hair, and nails, but you know what? They don't contain type 2 collagen or type 5 and 10. Type 2 collagen is the most important collagen for your immune system, for your gut, and for your joints. I want to give you an example of this. When you are sick, like when I was sick as a kid, how many of you guys, at least this is what my mom did. She gave me chicken noodle soup and ginger ale when I was sick as a kid. Anyone else something similar? Okay. Now here's the funny thing, like I went back and looked at what was in what my mom gave me, and unfortunately it was this conventional brand that had white flour noodles, MSG, and sodium, and then the ginger ale was soda. It's like 40 grams of high fructose corn syrup. And I joked around with my mom over Christmas, I'm like, if you didn't love me so much, like I would be dead right now because, but I look back and I'm serious, like I would stay sick for weeks at a time. I was, you know, when I always got bronchitis, was sick all the time. So, but here's the thing, where did she get that idea? Well, she got it from my great-grandmother who made real chicken broth and had ginger herbal tea. You know that's the ancient Chinese remedy when you're sick, is chicken broth and ginger tea for getting well? Yeah. But here's the thing, when you're sick, no one ever says, go and drink a bunch of beef broth, right? It's always chicken soup and chicken broth, right? Why is that? Well, beef broth is type 1 and 3 collagen. Type 2 collagen is from chickens, so it's going to be very high in those compounds that nourish the gut. The immune system, remember 70% of your immune system is located in your gut and all of your joints. And so, again, when you're buying collagen protein of any type, it is very important, ideally, that it's a multi-collagen where it contains not only type 1 and 3, but type 1, 2, 3, 5, and 10. And Jordan did an amazing job with this. We formulated this. So it has chicken collagen, turkey collagen, which is also incredible, wild fish collagen, grass-fed beef collagen, and something very unique called eggshell membrane. So it covers all of these collagen bases. I want to just share something of a family story with my sister. My sister did a blend. She started doing the bone broth protein and multi-collagen protein. She started just doing a serving a day of each. And she did that for 2 weeks. Now, I didn't mention this yet, but my sister had a little bit of a thyroid issue ever since she was very young. And because of it, she had very thin hair and then very brittle nails. Like her nails just seemed to chip easy. She had a few just skin issues too. And she started taking this and she called me 2 weeks later and she said, Josh, what's in this? And I said, well, Rachel, it's broth and these really unique forms of collagen. And she said, this is just amazing. She said, I went to my stylist and she told me she thought my hair was literally twice as thick in a really short period of time. And she said, I can notice. She sent me a text message of her nails for the first time. She was able to grow them out really thick and strong. But it's just that amazing. You know, again, more than any other product I've ever personally used or recommended, people will notice a difference very, very quickly. You know the reason people notice a difference? Because they are missing it in your diet. When you're missing something, I'll Jordan talk about vitamin D is important for some people and not for others.
Yeah, we like to talk about miracles, but miracles are found in the missing. If you are living in Philadelphia on March 15th, after 3 months of a lack of sunshine, vitamin D will get you out of depression, build strong bones, make you feel great. It's a miracle, or is it? But in Southern California, in South Florida, vitamin D is not a miracle. The reason that collagen and bone broth works so well is that we don't get it anymore, and our bodies were designed for it. Multi-collagen protein and bone broth protein are powerful tools if you're not going to consume 6 cups of homemade slow-cooked bone broth every day, which if we can't do it or won't, most people won't do it either. And speaking of powerhouses, essential oils, the extracted fats from the plant parts that are very light, they're loaded with metabolites, and they are great topically, they're great airborne or diffused, and they are awesome internally, or unbelievable. In fact, we just wrote a book, if you can hold that up there, Josh. We just wrote a book called Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine. We're going to raffle off a couple of these. 500-page book, $50 value. You can order it online. You can buy it here at Clark's. This is the ultimate guide of how to use these oils. I wouldn't go a day without them. I have 6 children. I use them myself, my family. They are awesome. Every meal, every boo-boo, I've either got my kids getting bit by an insect or biting another kid. It's always something going on. Use it for your hair, your skin. It is awesome in every recipe. And Josh and I were passionate about oils, and we wanted to find oils that had 3 criteria. Number 1, they were pure, only containing the pure essence of oils. Number 2, certified organic. We don't want to use the fats extracted from plants that are sprayed with pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and grown in synthetic fertilized soil. And number 3, we believe these oils are the powerful part of herbs and spices. The cinnamon strong taste comes from cinnamon oil. The turmeric, the ginger, the peppermint, all these plants have oils. These are concentrated versions. We needed to take them internally as dietary supplements. And because we could not find a brand of oils that met our criteria, we spent 2 years creating what we believe to be the first and only pure, certified organic, dietary supplement oils called Ancient Apothecary, and we love them.
Yeah, these essential oils, again, are really unique. And listen, if you smell them, we have the oils are over there right under the customer service sign. But these oils smell differently. If you open up the grapefruit, it smells like there's grapefruit bursting in your nostrils. I mean, the lavender is incredible. We also make sure they're indigenously sourced. So like our lavender comes from the Provence area of France. It is absolutely amazing. Some of my favorite essential oils and how to use them. One way that Chelsea and I use them, we use them to get toxins out of our home. You know, we use them as our natural cleaning products. We make our own homemade shampoo. We add them to our skincare and moisturizers. So we use these a lot of those ways. Like the geranium rose oil, if you follow my wife, Dr. Chelsea, actually you can follow her on Instagram. I know some of you guys already do. So Dr. Chelsea Acts on Instagram. But she uses a couple organic skincare brands, and she'll add that geranium rose every time to her moisturizer, adding it on her skin. Geranium rose is known as one of the most hydrating and therapeutic essential oils on the planet. Also, this frankincense, this is a really unique blend. We call it Frankincense Trinity. We called it Trinity because we sourced 3 of the top, or we believe 3 of the top frankincenses in the world that are certified organic from Samiland, from Oman, and from India, all of which, when you look at the 3 different types, have great clinical studies showing their therapeutic value. So this has been shown, frankincense, to support healthy levels of inflammation within the body. So we diffuse it just regularly when we're doing prayer or reading in the morning or hanging out or just traveling. If I just want to use an essential oil for anything, frankincense is my go-to. Also rosemary oil, that's great for naturally volumizing your hair. Mix about a teaspoon of olive oil, 10 drops of rosemary oil, and then massage it in your scalp and hair, and then wash your hair an hour or 2 later, and it is very great for volumizing. We also love, Chelsea and I do a blend of tea tree oil and lemon oil, mix it in a glass spray bottle, we just buy it off, online, with a little bit of water and vinegar, and it's what we use to spray down our countertops, our appliances, our shower, to keep mold from growing in the shower. So we just use it all over the house. Sometimes we actually use another blend of clove and orange oil to also do similar cleaning. Just a few other other oils here that we love here as well. Citrus oils are great for the lymphatic system. Cinnamon oil is great for blood sugar. Just doing about 2 to 3 drops in a smoothie or oatmeal or something like that in the morning can be great. And I'm going to have Jordan talk for a minute here about 3 of our favorite essential oils as well that are very, very unique: turmeric, holy basil, and black seed.
Number 1, I'm going to talk about turmeric, and as Starkey already said, even though our turmeric oil is perhaps the most amazing product in any health food store anywhere, we just happen to not have any of it tonight. But, as Starkey said, they've ordered it. You're going to get it soon, so make sure to come check back.
Yeah, and I want to mention this too. I talked to Cindy, and the store is going to honor the discount. So if you go and tell them tonight that you want the turmeric essential oil, they're going to give it to you and give you they're having the biggest discount of the year just for tonight only on the product. So if you go up the register and tell them you want it, they'll actually put that down.
And I think they said they're going to extend it on the turmeric for even 60 days.
Oh,
so
cool.
Stock up when you get it. It's gone right now. So I love that. Turmeric oil contains curcumin, which is great for healthy inflammation response, and turmerone, which is great for the brain. Research this, folks. Don't take our word for it. Look it up. Check the published studies online. Really, really amazing. Certified organic turmeric. Now, our holy basil oil is the only holy basil oil in America. This is an adaptogenic herb, and it is powerful for men's and women's health, blood sugar, hormones, etc., and we do have some of those. Black cumin or black seed oil is bitter, supports the liver, and if you look online to see what black seed can do, it'll say that it does everything under the sun. We've got coriander oil, which is the seed of cilantro. Here's some of the best ones, folks, if you're taking notes. Ancient Fortress can be consumed orally. You can mix it in hot water and make an infusion. It's got cinnamon, clove, thyme, and bergamot. This is the ultimate seasonal immune support. Digestion has fennel, and it has peppermint. Just absolutely amazing. We've got hormones for women, which that pretty much says it all. We've got Breathe Easy for upper respiratory support. You've got to check out some of these blends. Ache Away, which is for sore muscles and joints. Really, really awesome. You need to give these a try. We have black pepper oil. I'm going to give you 2 quick recipes. Josh gave you some too. This is the best and most invigorating morning drink, guaranteed to taste gross. You ready for it? I'm the kind of guy that thinks if it doesn't taste bad, it can't be good for you, right? Except for bone broth protein. I just started drinking coffee. We're working on a really cool coffee project. I had to do it myself. 2 tablespoons of fresh ground organic coffee, French pressed. I put it with fat like coconut oil, coconut butter, ghee, etc. Then I add the following oils. 20 drops of our turmeric. I'm hardcore. I am hardcore. 5 drops of our ginger, which, by the way, 1 drop of our ginger oil is as strong as an ounce of ginger juice. It will blow your mind. 2 drops of holy basil, 2 drops of black pepper oil, 2 drops of cinnamon, which sweetens it, supports blood sugar. My son works out quite a bit. We're training him to be an elite basketball player. Here's his muscle and joint rub. Peppermint oil for the cooling, black pepper oil for the warming, holy basil for the inflammation support. I rub that directly on his knees, his hamstrings, his shoulders. It is awesome, kind of like a hot, cold, but without actually affecting the thermal nature of the body. So it really, really amazing. Folks, we believe that essential oils are going to get even more popular as years come. We believe we have the preeminent line of certified organic, indigenously sourced dietary supplement oils for internal health, external health, and with dozens, if not hundreds of articles and recipes on drax.com, you will love these oils.
Yeah, it's just good to have